Oh, is it recording? There.
Okay, and lipid is actually a very generic term. This is something very hydrophobic. And insoluble in water. So we're going to see that there are actually many different kinds of compounds that structurally don't necessarily resemble each other, other than the fact that they're hydrophobic, but they're all classified as lipids. So that's oils, steroids, cell membrane components. Okay, all these things are going to fall under the category of lipids. And we even have some fatty acids. Oh yeah, there's plastic vitamins. We could probably go on and on, but so we're going to start with fatty acids. And these are components of fats and oils. And membranes. And your fatty acid is just a long chain carboxylic acid. So your number of carbons are going to be in the 14 to 20-ish range. Usually you don't start calling something fatty until you've got 14 carbons or so. The number of carbons are usually even. You may contain double bonds. And there's just the one carboxyl group on one end. Okay, so there's my carboxyl group. I have that carbons coming to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is 1, and my pyramid 16. That happens to be palmitic acid. Another one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Put a double bond in that one, on carbon number 9. I drew that cis on purpose because those double bonds are usually cis. So it's carbon number 1, carbon number 16, and that happens to be a double bond between 9 and 10. And that is palmitoleic acid. These are common names. That's Biochemistry, Biochemistry, for whatever reason, steered clear of this. If you have unsaturated fatty acid, and I'm gonna start abbreviating fatty acids, okay? That means we have no carbon-carbon double bonds in it. So it's the highest ratio of hydrogen to carbon that you can have, so all carbon-carbon single bonds. If you are an unsaturated fatty acid, then you have one or more carbon-carbon double bonds. Okay. The or more is also called polyunsaturated. But people tend to use the terms just unsaturated and polyunsaturated. They don't always bother to distinguish between the two. But if they do say polyunsaturated, then they mean there are more than one. Carbon-carbon double bond. Okay, in your book, there's a table that has common fatty acids. And on the left-hand side, there is a way to kind of abbreviate what fatty acid I'm looking at. So the 12 tells me I have 12 carbons, the 0 after the colon tells me I have no double bonds. And that happens to be lauric acid, or if you want to do IUPAC, then it's dodecanoic acid for your 12 carbons. Yes.
Why is it always an even number of carbons?
That's a good question. That actually gets into metabolism in second semester, but when we start breaking down fats, it's always done in 2 carbon units. Yeah, and so then if you go backwards, you synthesize it in 2 carbon units. Yeah, 14 myristic acid, 16 palmitic acid, stearic acid, ractic acid, there you go. Behenic acid and ligners, whatever. It's me trying to say that one. But the names are not as important to memorize as to know how to interpret the little abbreviation over here. So for the behenic acid, 22 carbons, straight chain, no double bonds. And then in my unsaturated palmitoleic acid was the one that I drew. The 16 is how many carbons, and after the colon, and I'm going to run all this down, the 1 represents how many double bonds there are, so there's just 1. And it's at position n minus 7, where n is the number of carbons. So 16 minus 7, and so it's like carbon number 9. And that's what we drew, or is that double bond between carbon number 9 and carbon number 10. Oleic acid has 18 and 1 double bond. Linoleic acid, 18 and 2 double bonds. And then we have our alpha linolenic acid, gamma linolenic acid, and arachidonic acid is one we're going to see again, 20 carbons and 4 double bonds.
Sorry, can you repeat what you said again, like 1A and you said it?
Let's just write it out. How about that?
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. No, we're good. So these are abbreviations for your fatty acids. So for example, our palmitic acid is 16 colon 0. That is the number of carbons, and that is the number of double bonds. But since it's saturated, we have 0 for palmitic acid. Palmitoleic acid is a 16 colon 1 n minus 7. Okay. So again, the 16 is number of carbons. And this is the position, or number of double bonds and position. And n equals total number of carbons. So 16 minus 7 is 9. So the double bond is on carbon number 9. unsaturated fatty acids. Only the position of the first double bond is given. Then they occur every three carbons. So for example, linoleic acid. Is an 18 colon 2n minus 6. So, how many carbons? 18. How many double bonds?
2.
Position of the first one is at
12.
Hang on a moment. Because it's not, it's not.
No, 18 minus 6.
Sorry, 621. Sorry, hang on. I do this every year, every second year, you know. I think I changed my notes to fix this. So 9, what that means is that the double bond is 9 away from the end. I'm wondering if it is. So palmitic acid is 1 minus 7, and the double bond is carbon number 9. So no, that one works. Why does that one work? 16 minus 7.
Do you think there's still double bond?
So they must count it from the other end for the polys. Wow, let me just cross all that out. Okay, all right, let's try this again.
Okay then.
We
just like
ready? 16 colon 0, number of carbons. Number of double bonds. All right, and that's what's palmitic. Palmitoleic. This is 16 colon, and it is. It's 1n minus 7. I guess the best way to think of this is just to do number of carbons, number of double bonds, and if I say 9 from the end, that works for that one. It's 9 from the end, 6 from the end. So it's the position of the last one from the end. So the minus 7 means the double bond closest to the end is 7 away from the end. Okay, and that works. So for the palmitoleic, because the 16 with the 16 carbons long, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 16. This is 16, I count backwards, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then I got that double bond. That works for the polys. So, I mean, the original formula I gave you, where you say 16 minus 7 is on carbon number 9, that works. That works just fine for one double bond, but it gets more complicated as soon as you put 2 of them in there, because it's actually giving you the position that is closest to the end. Okay.
So you guys always referencing that in never read.
Yeah, I guess so. There's some way from the end. I mean, it works for this one. So the problem is that the linoleic, the other one I was going to do as an example on the fly, it was to just make so linoleic acid, which is that 18 colon 2 and minus minus 6. So again, we have 2 double bonds. The minus 6 is from the end, means that I have a double bond at 12, and 3 away from 12, which is going to be 9. So it's actually a carbon number 12 and carbon number 9 that have that. I know that's lucky.
Can you determine the discriminant or not do that? Or no?
Can I determine what?
Because I can see where we get the 12 from, but can we get the 9, or is that just?
Always 3 away. There's always a difference of 3.
Oh, okay.
So the 12 is the one closest to the end of the chain, and then the next one will be 3 away. It's always 3 away.
Is that in the rightmost carbon in the double bond or the leftmost?
Yeah, we'll draw it. Okay. And I hope I can get these all cis. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I get it? So this ends up being number 9 to 10, and this ends up being number 12 to 13. And I get that 12 position by subtracting the 6 from the 18. Yeah.
And though it's not 12 to 13, or why is it 12 to 13 and not 11 to 12?
Why is it 12 to 13 and not 11 to 12? I guess the way the nomenclature is defined. It's a little weird, I know. On the plus side, I'm not going to ask you to draw me polyunsaturated ever. So it's more important that you know that the 2 means there are 2 double bonds, because that is going to affect our physical properties and our multiplies. Yep.
But were we 9 to 10 on the last one?
Because that one's only 7 from the end,
Okay.
which also puts it at position 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were 9 to 10.
Yeah. Whereas this one's, the first one is 6, or the one closest to the end is 6 from the end, which puts it at position number 12, and then the next one is 3 back from that. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's wacky. Just is. Okay. But if I ask you to draw something, just to speak for one double bond, and then you can just use that first rule I gave you, where you take the 16 minus whatever the position is, or whatever that number is, minus 7, and so you set carbon number 9. You will notice that when you look at these, it's usually 9 and 12, is what you see if they'll love them, for our little ones here. And it certainly is for the ones that we need to know. So palmitic, or palmitoleic is this one you should know, is position number 9. Oleic is 18 carbons, but it's also position number 9 for the double bond. Linoleic, 9 and 12. And then this other one we have 9, 12, 15, and this one starts at 6, 6, 9, and 12. And arachidonic is actually off on this. This one's kind of weird because it's going to put the double bonds on some odd numbers here. So we have a set of 6 and 9, and we have a 5 and 8. But then again, it's still 3 apart, so 5, 8, 11, 14 is 3s, multiple 3s.
So which one's the true?
The easy ones. Is that right? No, the common names for these. These are the only ones that common names. Palmitic, steric, and those are your saturateds, and then palmitoleic, your oleic, linoleic, and arachidonic. Yes, and the same winter spiders. I'm sure there's a reason. And those are your unsaturated. Those are the ones you will see most frequently. Okay. So, yay! Let's do this then. Do the first first half, not the second half yet, do the first half. So draw stearic acid and oleic acid. Paper, please. And just so you know, like those double bonds that are usually cis, everything in that chart is cis. They're all cis. So if you do finish that, then take a guess and circle the one that you think will have the lower multiply. And when you're done, press them on down.
One too many carvings. Slower down to the point? Yeah.
You're giving your best.
I thought they were normal. Did I put my name on it?
Oh, nice. There's still something nice.
Lip shit?
Is this you? Those are Brendan.
Lip shit?
Did you just say I was like, these pictures in the
She wants them back.
Oh,
Yeah, that's like this. So when you like,
Would you like some lip shit? Lip shit.
is it okay?
Lip shit. I think I circled lip shit. I don't really know. I remember it was in the pre-lecture activity, but I don't remember.
Get it out of your nails.
yeah.
Anymore.
Question, why?
It's saying, do we ever know why?
You're manly. The overwhelming manliness involved in this situation.
Everyone asked me
If I took
Saturated fatty acids. These are carbon-carbon single bonds. They are flexible. They pack tightly together. What kind of force are you going to see that packs these together? Sorry. Hydrophobics, or if you're thinking in terms of INFs, what would you call that? Intervals. So they pack tightly together, and so they tend to have higher melting points than unsaturated fatty acids. So you've got a bunch of these. I mean, it doesn't really look like this, but you can think of it as a whole bunch of tails. I have no idea how many cartons in there. Where you can get these things packed in nice and tight, lots of surface area, good share. They might actually be curled up on each other. Not necessarily linear looking like that, but they pack nice and tight. Okay. And then in general, your melting point will increase with increasing chain length. Your unsaturated fatty acids. Your double bonds are rigid. Okay, because you can't rotate around a carbon-carbon double bond. And so you tend to find that they do not pack as well together. And that's due to kinks, rigid kinks in the chain. And so your melting points are generally lower than the saturated fatty acids. Okay, if I attempt to draw that, then you might see something like this, right? And so I'm going to actually try to draw this to resemble more what the geometry might look like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then maybe I have a cyst that goes off in some other random direction here. Sugar, rice, that's exaggerated. But when I stick these little cis double bonds in, they're rigid. They don't pack as well. When I have everything in like a kind of a trans sort of backbone situation going on here, as soon as I stick a double bond in, then it no longer can adopt that. So you end up with things that don't pack as well and lower melting points. So this is why saturated fatty acids are found as components in solid fats. And this is why unsaturated fatty acids are found more often as components in oils. And so you're an oil at room temperature because you've got carbon-carbon double bonds. You're a fat at room temperature, like the water, if you have all saturated fatty acids present. Now the actual chemical structures of the fats and the oils is something different. That's getting into triglycerides, which are coming up in a bit here. But it's the fatty acid component that determines whether it's going to be a fat or an oil. So are you ready for fats?
So with unsaturated fatty acids, like if we go from say 1 double bond to 2, is that mean that impact on melting point as well? Or is it-
Yeah, no, the more double bonds you have, the bigger the melting point. Acetyl glycerols. Okay, I hate that name. That's new nomenclature. That's the name they want us to call it. I went to school and we called them glycerides, and I think that like even medically, they're calling these things glycerides and triglycerides, and they're not calling them acetylglycerols. I have not seen that show up on any form ever sent to me when I've had my blood work done, and they report giving me triglycerides in my blood. But they're the same thing. So this is new nomenclature, that is old nomenclature. I don't care which one you use. I don't understand both. An acetylglycerol is a glycerol esterified to 1 or more, up to 3, fatty acids. So if you have glycerol plus one fatty acid, plus esterified to it, then that is a monoacetyl glycerol. Or a monoglyceride. Okay. Glycerol plus two fatty acids is a di, and all that other stuff. So a diacylglycerol, a diglyceride. And glycerol plus three fatty acids is a tri-acylglycerol or a triglyceride. So, a triglyceride an example from your book then. So 1 palmitoyl Lee oil, 2 minyl Lee oil, 3 stearoyl glycerol. Glycerol is in black up here. That is my little glycerol backbone, and these are ester leakages to fatty acids. We're going to draw these out in a bit. And so the first one happens to be a palmitoleic acid, and the second one happens to be a linoleic acid, and the last one is a stearic acid. For the three. So triglycerides is what people most commonly refer to as fat. That's fat with a capital F. I mean, lots of things fall into the lipid category, but when people talk about fats, they're usually talking about triglycerides. Yeah, and then, so that it's almost Halloween, so we kind of do this. So, but that has to make you guilty, which means you might pass up. So this is 190 calories, food calories per serving. And 90 of those calories come from fat, the capital F.
What's the serving size?
It's 3 pieces, but I don't have enough for everybody to have 2. Everybody to have 1. What I was told was never to eat anything that was more than a 30% fat. This happens to be like a 47% fat. Just a little more, 47% fat.
That means it tastes very good.
Yes.
Really? Hells yeah. I have a knife.
Probably should put that in.
Dr. O, do you want?
Gravity! Is that illegal or something?
No, it's legal.
It's a Christian school, so.
I have a Swiss Army knife if you feel more comfortable.
Okay, they're gonna spill everywhere. Take one, pass it down.
I love fat.
I didn't like
Hey.
learn that, but I love these.
You have orange in your hair.
Gosh darn it, Sadie.
Gosh.
I knew he was putting something in my hair.
That's my trash can. My horrible trash can. Right there.
Rude.
I was just gotta make sure.
Okay, that is glycerol. Okay, 3 carbons, hydroxyl group on each carbon. If I add 3 fatty acids to that, then I'm just going to do a total exactly care how many carbons that is. But I got 2 fatty acids, then I can make a triglyceride. If I esterify them, and when I esterify them, I'm going to use a water for each ester linkage that I make. So now I have this. saponifiable linkage. Saponifiable. Remember saponification from OCHAM?
Nope.
You know how to make soap? Okay, yeah.
Ratio.
All right, yeah.
Otherwise you get something so basic that you cannot let the kids wash their hands with the soap that they just made.
Yeah. So, back in the good old days, it was animal lard and lye, right? And yes, that soap took off more than just the dirt half the time because it was so basic. So these days when they do like soaps that you get in the store, they're usually pH balanced so that you don't have to worry about all that extra things. But that's how you make a soap. You add strong base to ester where you have a fatty acid in that ester, and you make fatty acid salt from that soap. So that was saponification is hydrolysis with a base. Okay, we're going to see that some of our lipids are saponifiable and some of them are not. Glycerides are saponifiable. So naming. I'll try to get this one right. That doesn't mean I won't confuse you. So naming acetylglycerols. Okay, so you change the ending of each fatty acid to oil. You indicate which carbon each is attached to in glycerol. 1, 2, or 3. And then you end with glycerol. So if I go back to that picture again. So carbon number 1, palmitoyl oil, carbon number 2, linalool oil, carbon number 3, sterol oil, glycerol. Now when you look at glycerol, is it easy to remember which carbon is carbon number 1?
No.
No. And in this picture, it's totally arbitrary. There's no way to know whether they numbered that right in this picture that they drew. Because our book doesn't know how to draw Fisher projections like it ought. And so they seem to think that that is enough for a Fisher projection.
They also say there's
So
12
you can't tell which
hydrogens.
one's carbon number 1 and carbon number 3. It could just as easily be a 1 sterol oil, 2 linalool, 3 palmitoyl oil, and we wouldn't necessarily know the difference. Okay, but there is.
Like it's CH12. Oops.
So, carbon number 1 is assigned as the pro-S carbon in glycerol. And that's a new term. So I don't think you talk about prochiral in organic. That's a new one. So, prochiral is a position that could become a stereocenter by changing the priority of one group. stereocenter in glycerol, which it is not. So, and the reason it's not is because it has two identical groups. Okay, so that group is the same as this group, and that means that this is not a stereocenter, it's actually achiral. Okay, but if we draw it as if it were chiral, and we put the OH on the left and the H on the right on the middle carbon, if we make this higher priority than the other one, and then I check it for what designation that middle carbon will be. So this is going to be number 1 for high priority, this will be number 2, and that will be number 3 for high priority. I am 1, 2, 3, I am clockwise, but it's a Fisher projection, so that hydrogen's coming out towards me. So what would you designate this as? That is S. Okay. So if I make a higher priority, then this becomes S. If I do the same thing, and I make this higher priority, than the other one. So now this is 1, and this is now 2, and that's now 3, then my stereocenter becomes, so 1, 2, 3, counterclockwise, but the H is coming out at me. It's R. So that tells me that since this, giving the higher priority to this one, gives me an S configuration, my pro S position is C1, and that is this one. Has to be that one. So this is carbon number 1, this one's carbon number 2, and that one is carbon number 3. Here's your number glycerol.
So how would you know if you're just looking at it and they actually looked the same?
Well, they are the same. If you, you have to arbitrarily say, I'm going to give higher priority to one or the other to figure out whether that position becomes R or whether it becomes S. And if you make one carbon higher priority than the matching group, and it comes out S, then that carbon you chose to make the higher priority is carbon number 1.
Okay.
So what that means is that when you're drawing your fatty acids, you really should be drawing them like this. Your triglycerides. So I'm just going to put an R1, so I'm drawing the whole chain out. And that would be R3. But the other one over here has to be shown going in this direction, which is not typically how people draw triglycerides. Because they usually don't bother to show what the stereochemistry is. What they tend to draw them as is with all the fatty acid chains moving in the same direction. And technically they do, but you have to remember that I've got a bunch of single bonds here where I can rotate around them. So I can actually rotate things to get this fatty acid chain to kind of line up with that fatty acid chain. That's no problem. Okay. Just rotate around this little carbon bond here. But if I want to show the correct stereochemistry for a triglyceride and indicate which fatty acid is on carbon number 1 and which fatty acid is on carbon number 3, I've got to show this sort of stereochemistry because that tells me that this is carbon number 1, that's carbon number 2, and this is carbon number 3. Okay. It only is really important to figure out the naming, which fatty acid you put at the number 1 position. Prochiral stuff will come back to us later when we start talking about enzymes because we're going to see that enzymes can recognize not just chiral stereocenters, they're not always stereospecific for chiral things, they're also stereospecific for pro-chiral things. So they'll only bind term. Okay, we talked about glycogen. Glycogen is a short-term energy storage. Your liver has maybe a 3-day supply of glycogen under starvation conditions, and then after those 3 days, then you really start to go after your fat stores, and then also protein stores in muscles as well. But long-term energy storage is really the function for triglycerides. It's about 6 times the energy as an equal weight to glycogen. And they're stored as insoluble lipid globules, that sounds just great, in specialized cells that are called adipocytes. Normally, I would charge forward when we do all the glycerophospholipids as well. But today's the major fair, and I have to go man the booth. And I have to set up my apparatus on the table, and since it starts at 11:30, I kind of need to stop here. So Friday, we'll pick up the glycerophospholipids.